7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Hey everyone,
And
what's
Pete's
up?
in his,
Welcome
Pete's in his own little weird world now.
Oh yes, I am, and I'm happy to be here. Welcome to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, everyone. It's that time again. I'm New York Pete. I'm here with my best friend, the Tipsy Toaster, Chris, and this is our little corner of the universe where we discuss pop culture, news, entertainment, sci-fi, and all kinds of
All sorts of
great.
cool geekiness.
Yes, with a very small emphasis on 70s and 80s TV, cartoons, magazines, books, movies, TV series, whatever was out at that time, since we are basically from that time. We lived through it. And we also happen to be big
It was sound like it was a
Battlestar
challenge. We lived through it. It was horrible.
Galactica. Yes, we did.
It was
Yes, we
scary.
did. Yes, we did. It was scary times. 70s and 80s
Yeah.
were.
We didn't know
I
if
think
we
a
were
lot-
going to make it. It was horrible.
Yes, yes, it's my world, Rob. Well, listen, we're happy to have everybody on board. Chuck and James and Dan and
Do we have
Rob
Lola?
Baum,
Her
Kim,
name was Lola.
and John Van Gostein, of course, John 1. And let's see. That's all I can see on my end. I'm sure there's a few others there's a few others.
Tonight, Pete's
you get a
really
chance-
challenged because he's on an iPad.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We're using my main computers to make backup copies of the Saturday shoot of the Stranded Warriors. So
Yeah.
I'm not messing with
The Microsoft minutes turned into Microsoft hours.
Yeah. So
Yeah. It's, what is it, 4.5, 5 terabytes worth of video that you're downloading
Yes.
onto another drive
That's
just
right.
to make sure we don't
Yep.
lose it. Yeah,
Correct.
There was like one drive that had everything on it, and Pete was like, "My God, what do I do with it?" And then, I mean, we could tell
Yep.
the story. The story even goes farther because neither one of us are Mac people,
nope.
and the drive was formatted for Mac, and we couldn't see any of the footage on it. So we were like, "Oh my God, it's empty. We don't know what to do." And I'm like Googling
Oh,
how to
yeah.
how to
Oh,
how to
boy.
how to get your Windows computer to download or to be able to see a drive. And then we spent 45 minutes trying to get that to work, and then found out it was just the cable. The cable wasn't working right. And we
Oh,
finally
yeah.
got to see it. And then it's like, you know what we got to do now? We got to download it. And then that was 15
That's what we did.
hours worth of stuff, looks like. So
Hey, Susan, thanks for joining us live.
you don't
Appreciate it.
see this in where's the Hollywood piece on this? I mean, come on. I mean, where's Hollywood's guys going, what do we do? It's a Mac and we're on Windows.
Yeah, they probably just go from one station and just go right over to the next one. And
Yeah,
plug it in
they've got
with,
they've got people for
permanent-
that. They got
Yeah,
people
exactly.
for that.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Where's that one geeky dude? Yeah. Hey,
Nah.
Timmy, come here. You're an Apple guy. Fix this shit.
That's right.
Oh, sorry. Fix this.
So Commander Kane's with us tonight, of course. Thanks for joining us, Paul. It's always a pleasure to see you and Susan, and I mentioned Kim already, and Rob, of course, and everybody, Chuck and Chris's, and everybody else that are on. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, you are all amazing.
Let's jump into
Yes.
our.
Let's
our,
put Pete up there while I read what we have here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
This,
we got a
ladies and
stout
gentlemen.
tonight.
Thank goodness. But unfortunately, Pete picked the one stout that's like 4% alcohol. I swear to God, that is lower than Coors Light. But we'll see how it tastes. Murphy's Imported Stout, drought style. It actually has a ball in it. I can feel it. Murphy's Stout has been brewed at the same unique recipe since 1856. We pride ourselves on only using the top ingredients of pale malt, chocolate malt, roasted barley, and hops. It actually has instructions on how to pour it.
Oh, yeah, it does. That's really cool.
Should have it be at 40 degrees Fahrenheit with a 45-degree angle, and a specific beer mug. Oh my gosh, really? Yeah, and of course, the typical government warning on the side, according to the Surgeon General, women and colonial warriors should not drink beverages during flight. Okay.
Okay.
So, anyways, that's it. So,
thank you guys for tonight's. Who was
the instructions?
It's Superfan Fran. I had those up, and I think who else was behind our drinks? Who was?
I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. I don't remember.
Was it James?
James, I think. It was somebody else who donated. So we won't forget you next time, whoever you were. I'm sorry. Life has been really busy lately.
Oh, it has. But anyway, James Coizon, thank you so much for joining us, Mediocre Modeler, and we appreciate it. So here's
what alcohol container do you have tonight? I went back to the original.
My Captain Kirk.
So we asked this question last time. I don't think anybody answered it. Does anybody know where this came from? Not.
What
this
store?
Is actually Battlestar Galactica.
What episode?
Well, this is actually one of the ones they used in Battlestar Galactica. So.
All right.
It was in the drinking the Thanksgiving scene. A lot of people.
Don't say anymore.
So that's it.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep. So, anyways, 1, 2, 3. Go.
Whoa. Oh boy.
Well, you still have a keyboard to put wet sticky this time. Normally you and your keyboards.
Right. So let's see if I do this correctly. I gotta have this.
It's the 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
And then we pour it this way.
Oh boy. Where's Mike DeBruyne? He should be here. He's commenting. Let's see. Oh boy. This is good. All right. That's the wow. All right, Kim, I would like to propose a toast to our fearless Captain Apollo, Richard Hatch, in honor of his birthday on the 21st.
Amen.
He taught us to keep the faith and open his heart to so many. He will be remembered for as long as we hold him in our hearts. That's very true, Kim.
Yep.
And
yes, we definitely did some nods to him in our movie. So.
Oh, we did.
It's
absolutely did.
Yeah, we'll break those out later on, but. To Richard, to those who create the world, those who are fans of the world. So we're talking writers, we're talking directors, we're talking all of those people who create such fantastic ideas that deposit them in our heads and excite us and make us want to learn more and make us think about how cool things could be in those universes. This is to you because fans fuel the fleet.
There you go. Bottoms up. No, that's good. Excellent.
It's weak, but it's good.
Very good. So, guys, we want to give you a heads up that the Stranded Warrior is doing very well in terms of post-production. We're going to be moving quickly into the CG stage of things. We are very, very lucky to have a composer, and that happens to be Dorian Keyes, who is also a sci-fi winning sci-fi author, and one of our good friends. And he was down on set, and so he has a cameo in The Stranded Warrior. He insisted on coming down so he could get better acquainted with the scenes and see them. And so
we ended up putting him in.
Yeah, and he composed 3 original tracks so far for The Stranded Warrior.
And they're great. They're kind of cool.
That coupled with, all of the CG that's going to be involved. Now that we're working with downloading there's footage, guys, just so that you know, there's footage from, in some cases, 4 different cameras that were filming scenes. So we... And
I don't know if you know, it's filmed in what they call 4K RAW. So I can tell you 6 minutes takes over 2 gig.
Oh, yeah. So that's big to do. Yeah. So, that's where we're at. And so, like we mentioned before, we're making a copy. So we have a backup, and then it'll be transported because this coming weekend, right, we are broadcasting live on a Thursday. Saturday, we're going to be at the Non-Sports Cars Show in Philly, or slightly outside of Philly, and we're going to be covering that. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some live broadcast as well as some live
Hopefully,
tape.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we have already made arrangements, and they're expecting us, and so we'll be looking to pick up some odds and ends, bringing that for you guys on the show.
That's
So
right.
that's
Looking
this
for
weekend.
Close Encounter cards and Mork and Mindy cards, and
Oh yeah, and some
I already found
Three's
my
Company cards.
Three's Company. I already found my
There's Planet of the Apes, and there's
Oh, I don't need to hear that. I would be.
Planet of the
I'll be
Apes.
broke. I can't spend that
Planet of
much
the
money.
Apes.
Oh.
Canadian magazine. This is
Oh,
very
top
good. We'll
left.
talk
That's
about
what I want. Sleestack.
Sleestack, Land of the Lost. So we'll talk about this if we get a chance. If
Land of
not,
the
it's
Lost,
Canadian.
lost,
We'll
lost.
bring this up later. I picked that up last couple of days, a couple of days ago. And so we're moving ahead. There's a lot of things going on, and tonight we have a bunch of guests. So we're lucky to have from Ireland live with us,
Yep, there he is.
Gerald M Kilby, and he's an author, sci-fi author, and we've looked up some of his books. He does audio, which makes
Yep,
Tipsy
that makes me
Toast.
happy. It's funny that you say that. I actually have the audio book page open right here. I'm going to ask him tonight which one he recommends I start with, because I will
Start
buy
with,
it
okay.
tonight, because I am on to my next book. So,
Cool.
or my next
Cool.
audio tape, I should say. So yeah, I would definitely be throwing.
Cool.
I'm sure he doesn't make a whole lot of money off of these, but I'll be throwing a little bit of money towards him this evening. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
And so we have so we're gonna have our author Gerald Kilby is gonna come on, and we also gonna have Diana Durango is coming back for another round here, co-star of The Stranded Warrior, and of course we're gonna have Bran, who's gonna bring us up to speed with Star Trek, and he's from the Starfleet International Association, and the USS Tiburon is his command, District 17, I believe it's referred to as. So he'll give us an update on what's going on with the world of Star Trek, and yeah,
John,
that's
don't forget
we got
John.
a
Did you say
full
John?
show.
Did I miss that?
And John 1, no, I did
Yeah.
not. And John
Okay.
1 will be squeezing himself in between all of those great guests that we have.
Cool. So yeah, we love to have authors on, and we're really excited to have this one on, because authors, writers, screenwriters, all those people create such great universes, create such great stories that really set our imaginations on fire, and we love these. These are the unsung heroes of all your movies, and the unsung heroes of all of your comic books, and those things. These people actually make these things in their heads before they put them on, put them out.
yeah.
So, it's great to put the authors on. So I guess without further ado, we'll pull up our guest tonight. There we go. I think I have it now.
Yes, excellent. Welcome, Jerry. How are you?
Hey. Good. How are you guys? You doing good?
Doing good.
Yes, we are.
We're still awake. I know you're tired by now because you're in Ireland.
Yeah.
What time is it
Yeah.
there?
Bit late. Well, I'm a night owl, so it doesn't really matter too much to me.
It's funny. A lot of our authors we talk to are night owls. So
Yeah,
I guess
I think I work on American time anyway.
There you go. That works. Perfect. Jerry,
Yeah.
welcome to
I see you guys are
Interfleet
drinking
Broadcasting.
Murphy's Stout as well.
yeah.
That's,
I figure for
Yes.
in
Yeah.
honor. Yeah.
yeah, good for you. That's
So,
a cork beer.
Yeah. What's up?
Jerry,
Go ahead.
tell us a little bit about your. Chris has a few questions directly related to your books, but tell us a little bit about your background, and give us your worlds. What's going on, and the background of
Well,
yourself.
I came to writing pretty late in life. I was in my 50s before I started writing. But a lifelong major science fiction fan. I go back to, I remember watching the Apollo landings when I was,
Wow.
yay high. Yeah. So, and I remember, as a small child seeing that, it was mind blowing. And I remember going out my back garden and looking up at the moon and going, wow, there's people walking up there now. It blew my mind. And I think that kind of just, inspired me. I just loved science fiction after that. And, back then everybody thought we were going to be, by now, we'd all be driving around in flying cars.
The Jetsons.
Didn't quite happen. We got the internet, I suppose, but and mobile phones and Facebook, so we got all that. But yeah, so no, I was a big, massive sci-fi fan. Read everything: movies, TV shows, books, comics, you name it. And then, I also was a big reader. I used to read a lot. I'd read everything, and read quite widely. I'd read everything from literary fiction to anything really I could get my hands on, I'd read. So when I was about 50 years, that sort of age, I just had this kind of story running around in my head all the time, and I used to talk to friends about it. And somebody said to me one time, well, why don't you just sit down and write it? So literally I came home one evening from probably having a couple of pints of Murphy's and sat down with my laptop, and I just started writing. First time I ever did it. First time I tried creative writing. I wasn't daft enough to think that it was any good, but so the next day I read it and I went, I wrote about 2,000 words or 3,000 words. And the next day I was reading it and I was going, well, I've read worse than this. It's not that bad. So then I ran by a few people who knew these things, and they said, no, keep going, keep going. So they gave me encouragement, and I wrote, the very first book was a techno thriller called Chain Reaction. It's up online. It's got good reviews. People like it. It's a real old school techno thriller. Kind of the Michael Crichton style techno thriller.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after I wrote that, I didn't know anything about publishing. And people saying, oh, you need to get an agent, and you need to submit it, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And I was going, that sounds like an awful lot of work to me. I can just put it up on Amazon, and then it's published, and I can get a couple of copies printed and give to friends. And I really didn't care about selling any of it. I had my own business, and a tech business. I'm a techie by trade, so to speak. So the techie route sounded like the best route to me. And then I started writing the Conley Morris series. And once I'd written the first book, I kind of had confidence that I could really tackle what I really liked, which was, that's it, chain reaction. Yeah. Something ignites a chain reaction. I can't remember the tagline.
Random events ignite a chain reaction with deadly consequences.
That's it. Yes. It's about fusion. There's a fusion reactor being built in the south of France called ITER. I don't know if you guys know about it. Massive thing. No. It's 20 billion euro project. Every country's involved in it. US, Japan, China. Everybody's building this gargantuan fusion reactor, experimental. And this is a kind of a story about a plot to destroy it, really blow it up. Anyway, that's what that book's about. So once I wrote that, then I had the confidence to kind of take on sci-fi. And I wrote Conley Morris series. And the Conley Morris series was, that's it, Conley Morris. The only law on Mars is your own. So it's near future. So I write near future, hard sci-fi. It's based on science fiction fact. There's no faster than light travel. There's no aliens. There's no, everything is either current technology or theoretical technology, and I base all my stories in around that. So Colony Mars, it's a kind of a story that you could almost see happening. So a lot of the reviews I would get for where people say, I could imagine this being the actual case. So there's 6 books in the Colony Mars series. And interesting is the main character is female lead is the character. Because when I was writing the Chain Reaction, kind of my favorite character was this kind of female cop in the Monaco police force. And I just loved writing that character. So I said, if I'm going to write another book, I'd have to have a female lead character. So yeah, that book did really, really well. So the second book of that, it just took off, just literally like a rocket. And once that had happened, I said, okay, I'm selling my business. I'm going to be a full-time writer. So I've been a full-time writer.
What business did you sell?
Yeah, I had an internet business. I used to develop e-commerce sites, big retail e-commerce sites. So if you wanted, if you wanted multi-domain, multi-currency, integrated with your stock system, that's what we did. I had a business doing that. Yeah, and then I said, right, enough of this. I much prefer to be a science fiction writer.
That's awesome. You pursued your passion. That's great.
I did. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I was going, wow, I can make more money. I can have my own lifestyle. I can do what I like. I can pick my own hours. I don't have to deal with clients. It was a dream come true. Really, it was science fiction. I mean, yeah, I remember having a meeting with a guy towards the end when I was getting rid of the business and selling it, and it was all closing down, and it was being handed over to a new company that was buying it. And one of the guys said to me, so you write science fiction? I said, yeah, I do. That's what I do now. I said, so you just sit around all day thinking of stories in space and adventures? And I go, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Excellent.
Wow, it's amazing. So
you make money doing that.
So then I wrote. Yeah, I make money doing that. Yeah. No, I sold a lot. I've sold a lot of books. And then I wrote the Belt series. So the Belt series is set around the asteroid. It's a bit like The Expanse. I'm sure you guys know The Expanse.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
It's that kind of. Yeah, it's that kind of world. So it's the solar system. I don't go beyond the solar system. So it goes, it's Earth, Mars, the asteroid belt series, maybe out as far as Jupiter, a lot of the moons, Europa. And it's got I just went to town on that book. That's got it's fun. It's a fun sci-fi romp through the solar system. Lots of great tech and spaceships and cities and spectacle, and there's a lot of AI in it. It's a kind of a tale of humans getting to the point where they really just can't control AI anymore. And this Belt series, that's kind of the backdrop to it. So it takes very like The Expanse in that it has a crew of in this case it's the salvage ship, and they come across a derelict ship in the asteroid belt. They're surveying the asteroid belt, boring as hell, and they have a junker of a spaceship, and they're all misfits and running away from things, and they come across this derelict spaceship, and they found this kind of secret tech that's been lost, and they discover it. And of course, once word gets out that they've discovered this, then everybody in the solar system is out to get them and get their hands on this tech. So it's kind of follows their kind of trials for survival and battles through the solar system. Yeah, it's a great fun romp.
Yeah, and especially
done really well.
Especially now with the AI stuff that's going on with Congress is looking to, or at least our United States Congress looking to regulate some kind of AI because they're worried about it. It's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
What if this thing becomes sentient?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the ideas in the book, there was an argument going on. This is a couple of years ago. There was an argument going on between kind of Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk was going AI bad, and Zuckerberg was going AI good. And I was sort of, as you do as a science fiction writer, you kind of take inspiration from things like that. And I was going, well, I wonder, maybe everybody thinks that AI is going, we're all going to die. You know, it's going to go.
It's going to take over the world.
Skynet.
Cylons. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew it.
You know, Skynet
We're
is going to
finally
go online.
at Skynet,
and we're all going to
Cylons.
die,
Yeah.
you know. So I said, well, let's flip it around the other way. Let's say maybe AI is going to be what saves us.
Ooh.
So in the Belt series, it kind of has two sides of it. One is the kind of general AIs that we know and love today, so to speak, and then there's this kind of exotic AI, which is built on a quantum computer, which I call quantum intelligence, or QI, and they're characters in the book. I mean, I don't know if anybody's read Ian M. Banks stuff, the culture novels, where he has the minds. Every ship has this mind, which is kind of a bit of a crazy AI. They're a bit like that. They're sort of eccentric, semi-sentient, exotic tech that is really the preserve of academic institutions and nerds.
Nerds!
But once they, nerds. But once they have this ability to communicate with each other, which is what entanglement is about. Entanglement is the quantum entanglement, and it gives that ability gives the QIs this ability to communicate with each other faster than the speed of light, and they can coordinate their actions then around the solar system, and they can then counter sort of the effects of AI. That's kind of the backdrop to the story, and it's really about there's four main characters in it who go through a fun ride, trying to escape, you know, and trying to do the right thing all the time, you know, and they're totally ill-equipped for this mission. You know? They really are not. They're not warriors. They're not, you know. Although one of them is a bit of an ex-military. But I try and base things on, you know, real characters that you can really relate to, because, you know, a lot of books I find, you know, you have this super awesome, you know, highly skilled, you know, special ops trained individual, and you go, well, that's fine, but I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm just an ordinary person. I'm just an ordinary, you know, regular guy, you know. And give me a story that's about, you know, regular people trying to figure it out, you know, and using their wits. So a lot of them is really based on wits and outsmarting and forming alliances, and then there's a certain amount of daring too, obviously, in it. Shoot 'em ups, the big battle scenes, and the one I'm writing at the moment. So I write in trilogies. So the Mars series, it's 6 books, but it's kind of 2 trilogies. And then similarly with the Belt, it's 6 books, but it's kind of 2 trilogies. So you can read a trilogy in a block and a block. And then the next one I'm writing is Moonbase Delta. So with all the stuff that's gone on the moon now, and this race to get back to the moon, I said, look, I'm going to set a story up there. So in the Moonbase, I was trying to bring in absolutely everything you could possibly think of when it comes to a moon story. So it's quite a complex story, but broadly speaking, near future again, based on real science. There's a 200, 150, 200 years in the future. We've colonized the moon. There's loads of people up there, maybe a population of 15, 20,000. There's mining, there's tourism, there's all the auxiliary infrastructure that needs to go with that. There's orbitals, there's bases, there's the whole thing. And it's all gone tickety-boo until there's a big solar storm, which is funny enough, because actually we're going through the solar maxima at the moment,
right?
Which is the major kind of peaking in solar activity. Anyway, it causes havoc with the massive constellations. So you know the way like SpaceX and all these people are putting these massive, gargantuan constellations up in low Earth orbit. So I'm going kind of maybe 200 years, 150 years in the future. There'll be probably, 100,000 of these things whizzing around Earth. Anyway, the solar storm causes havoc. They all start to disintegrate, and it causes a cascading effect, and it creates this huge debris cloud around the Earth, which prevents travel from Earth.
I can see that though. That seems realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary thing about some of the stuff I write. It's like, I mean, there's a scene in Jezero City, which is set in Jezero Crater, which is where NASA has that's in Colony Mars. And the opening chapter is about how the society starts to disintegrate in the face of this gargantuan dust storm that lasts for a year or 2 years, and it just wears them down and wears them down, and the chapter is about how that society disintegrates. But the weird thing about it, when I read back on it, is it is almost identical to what happened when COVID hit. I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
Yep,
The
we can
virus
say
hit.
it. Yeah, we're not we collect money, so those people who collect money, that actually hits them, and they're not allowed to collect on some things. So, well, it was back in the day. I don't know about now.
So when that hit, the globe, and everybody started to shut down, and people were, furloughed was the word, and travel stopped and all that. And this was everything in that chapter in Jezero City describes that, and it was written way before that happened. So a lot of stuff I write, I try and base it on what I think it could be reality. So anyway, all these guys are stranded up on the moon, and they're going, "Uh-oh, what do we do now?
Yeah, where do we get food? Where do we get?" Yeah.
So that's really what the moon-based delta is about. So they're going to have to try and work together and sort out their problems, and then there's all sorts of power structures and people trying to take over the place, and the usual.
And you get ready to launch your last book in that trilogy in November.
Yeah. Well, the first book is out. The second book I've just finished. I finished it about a week ago. Resource Control. That's just finished. That's a hoot. So that'll be coming out. It's off with my editor at the moment, so it's going to be back probably about a week or two, and then it'll be up on Amazon. So it'll probably, it says the 30th, I think, is the release for book 2, but I think it's probably going to be more like June, the early week, first week in June. I think it'll be live, that one. And then I have to write book 3, which I don't know what's going to happen in that yet. It's the thing about a lot of stuff that I don't quite know what's going to happen.
I've got to write a book.
Where can I take this? What mayhem?
So do they come to you and they say, "Hey, we need 3? We need 3 books," and you're like, "Okay, yeah, I can give you the first 2, and I'll figure out the third."
Not necessarily like that. I mean, you can.
No.
I mean, I've written 15 or 16 books now.
That's amazing.
You do get good at it. You get, well, I mean, I stick to a particular genre and I write a particular type of book, and I have a big fan base that just loves that sort of stuff. And so I know my fans, and I know what they like, so I know what I know what I need to write, what I stick to, and unfortunately that's what I love to read anyway. So, and then once you get into writing, then I devoured everything there was to know about writing and craft and story structure, and I must have read every book there is on writing, and then you learn so much, and then after a while you kind of absorb that. So when you come to an idea, you can take an idea and you can formulate a story from that idea. But I can do that because I've written so many other books.
Yeah,
the first book I wrote was structurally it was a mess. And I rewrote it, twice to sort of beat it into shape. With the hindsight of experience, I went back and said, "Oh, I think I'll rewrite that." It was Arthur C. Clarke, actually. It was a book he wrote called City in the Stars, I think it was.
Yep.
Or City on the Stars.
City on the Stars.
Arthur C. Clarke. Great book. Really, really good book. And he'd written it as, it was the very first book he wrote, novel. And he went back to it about 6 or 7 years. And after he'd written it, he'd written loads more, and he became really famous. And he had the benefit of experience, and he went back and he said, "Oh, I had a read of it," and he said, "Oh, I could do this better." So he rewrote it as City in the Stars.
Prelude to
So
Space.
I did that with chain reaction. I said, okay, I'm going to go back and I'll have a look at it. And I looked at it and went, okay, well, I can certainly tidy this up and structure it a lot better. And I republished it then as chain reaction. I think it was called Fusion originally. So yeah, so it's
Jerry,
hard sci-fi. So if you like hard, yeah,
we
sorry,
we wanted to just bring up a couple of questions and some comments
sure.
from those that are listening. But in the meantime, we have with us Chris Marshall and George Zuvalos and Janet Jenkins and Scott Good and Bobby, and let's see, I don't want to miss anybody. Scott Good, Rob is putting up a lot of questions. There's a couple of really good ones that tie in perfectly with where you were going with your last comment about hard science fiction, and what of all your series, which is the one that you found technically difficult to then continue forward with, or have you encountered that?
All the time,
Oh,
all the time. Yeah, every book I write, it's one of the problems with writing hard sci-fi is that you can't stray off into, um, hand waving.
Fantasy. Yeah.
It's a thing. It's got a widget in it, and it does that. You could do a certain amount of it. Well, entanglement, I probably push the limits a bit on that. But yeah, it's all the time. You're kind of okay. And the hardest one with doing the Belt series was the time it takes to get from A to B. And all the planets keep moving around all the time. They never stay in the same place. So okay, it took 7 weeks to get from A to B a week ago, but now that planet has moved off, so it's going to take 12 weeks. Those sort of things really, really
wow.
get complicated.
Well, Chris Marshall.
I try and stick to as closely as possible to real physics.
Thank God. I'm so tired of fantasy. I can't
Well,
stand fantasy science fiction. Oh, it's fantasy and science fiction. No, they're two separate things. Way different.
Here's another one then that again, it falls right in line with what we're discussing right here. And this is from Chris Marshall. Random question: how do you address different pulls of gravity on each planet or planetary body in your books?
Well, I do address it in that, if something is happening. So for example, on Mars, I mean, it's a third Earth gravity. So some of the things they do on Mars are only possible because of that gravity. Okay. Similarly with the Moon book I'm writing with Moonbase Delta at the moment, their big worry is they're trapped on the Moon and it's going to be degrading their physical structure, and they have to. So I literally go off to NASA and I start researching.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of research goes into this. So I would research what they're doing in terms of for lunar missions, and what sort of exercise and what studies have been done and what reports have been written and what they estimate they would need and how much exercise. And I digest all that stuff. I may not necessarily use all of it in the book, but I have it in the back of my mind. That's what you need to do. So yeah, and then with the Moon, then they would use orbitals a lot. So the circular space stations, a bit like the classic scene in 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yep.
So orbitals. So they use that, and then I would engineer a kind of procedure whereby they could only work on the Moon for X period of time, and then they must spend X amount of time on an orbital to at least 0.8 or 0.9 Earth gravity to regain muscle mass. But I try and do this underneath the bonnet, so that it's just part of how they live and not get you, the reader, too involved in the technicalities of it. Because I think, I'm not Neil Stevenson, where I'll write 6 chapters just on orbital mechanics.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the sort of, I just want to write fun, entertaining, you know, enjoyable science fiction that you can just lose yourself in, be the characters, be in that world, enjoy those space adventures that I used to love, as I really love, and not get too worried about the technicalities of it, but at the same time being reasonably true, not reasonably, but as accurate as I can be to real physics.
John asks a question. What got you into the Belt series? What influenced you?
I just wanted to write a science fiction based on a crew of misfits out in the asteroid belt, out in space. I really want to get into that. I don't know why. From Mars, I said, right, I'm sick of Mars now. Because of the success of the Colony Mars book, I would be on panels, and people would sort of think of me as a Mars expert, and I would know everything there is to know about Mars. And I even got asked to do one of those Mars analogs, where you're out in the middle of a desert somewhere in Mojave or something, and you can live for a month or two, and I was going, yeah, but no, I'm done with Mars now. I wanted to write something with a bit more literally space in it, where I could visit all sorts of planets, and I could bring in things like O'Neill cylinders. O'Neill cylinders, So O'Neill cylinders, Neil was a physicist, I think. And he designed this kind of space habitat, which is basically a massive cylinder. It's 10 kilometers across and 30 kilometers long, and it rotates with enough centripetal force, so that you've got about 1 g on the inner ring. Okay, so you've probably seen this in sci-fi, where you've got these massive kind of ring cylinder cities. It's called an O'Neill cylinder. So things like that, I was going, wow, I'd love to. Wow, I really want to do that, So there's scenes like where people are, you have that classic scene where they're kind of looking up and they're seing the lights,
it's like the
people
2001 stuff
on the other side.
Yeah.
And even in the Belt series, I invent this game called Zero Ball. Okay.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Zero Ball is played in zero gravity. So in the middle of the O'Neill cylinder, as long as you've dissipated all the various forces, it's zero gravity. You're floating free. Okay. So they have this big tournament, 2 teams, a bit like basketball, except it's in zero gravity. And then the spectators are all watching from around the ring.
Sounds like less injuries.
All sides.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Less injuries.
It's cool, isn't it? Yeah. It's death. It's fatal. This, because if you get kicked off and you bash off the side of the cylinder, that cylinder is doing about 200 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles. You're gonna die. Okay, it's simple as that. You're gonna die. So so there's a whole scene where there's a game of Zero Ball being played. It's the grand final, big day.
Well, it sounds like rollerball.
And
yes, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's death. I wanted this kind of death-defying, spectacle that everybody in the whole solar system would all travel to this. I think it's Neo City. It's not a Neo City. It's a hollowed out asteroid. So it's an asteroid that's hollowed out, and it's a huge city on the inside. And it's called Neo City because it's based on an asteroid called Neo, funnily enough, or near Earth object, Neo. And it does this weird route through the solar system. It doesn't go around. It goes around the sun, but it kind of visits every planet in a sense. It's a very strange orbit, and I thought it would be really interesting to have that as a kind of traveling, trading asteroid. So because it would visit all these planets, it would trade, and as such, it would build up this it'll be kind of semi-lawless and outside the bounds of any other jurisdiction, and very Star Warsy.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah.
Know.
All right, I'm getting ready to. I love audiobooks. Tell me which one I should buy: Evolution or Colony Mars?
Well, you've got a couple of. If you like, I'd go for the Belt series. Belt series is great fun altogether. You can, if you want, you can listen to some of the audiobooks for free on my YouTube channel if you don't mind listening to ads. Or you can.
So the Belt series is what you recommend, huh?
I'd go for the Belt series. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's fun. It's a fun ride.
Cool. Excellent. Well, Jerry.
Yeah, if you like stuff like The Expanse and Star Wars,
I love The Expanse.
Adventure.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
I'll definitely be listening to that one now because I've just finished my other series. So.
Thank you so much for taking the time out. Do you ever come to the States, Jerry, or no?
Well, I'll be there. I'll be over in. I do. Yeah, I'll be over in November again. I'll be at the 20 Books thing in Vegas.
Well,
we're trying to get there.
We're going to try to get there, so we will definitely look you up, and we'll do some live interviews on the spot, and that would be a really nice opportunity to catch up with all the work that you've been doing and fill in some of the gap from now till then. And you're welcome to come back. We would love to talk more and maybe get into some more of your style of writing and maybe some
hard science fiction. Thank God. I can't stand fantasy.
A lot of
You're a fan.
A lot of our
I can't stand fantasy.
Are very much into the science fiction and your type of writing. Dorian Keyes is with us. Dorian, welcome. He's also a science fiction author, award winner, and a lot of chatter here. All positive, Jerry. We wish you all the best and look forward to having you back again. Open door for you. If there's
absolutely no problem, guys.
We'll let you go to sleep now. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're up still.
But thank you
so much.
Okay. Listen, good talking to you guys. Much appreciated.
Thanks so much for having. And once again, keep creating those worlds for us.
Sure.
Definitely got to keep creating those worlds. Take care.
Let's see. George Giacomo is with us. Lola is on. She says late, but that's okay, Lola. Thank you for coming on. And thank you to John 1 for getting that together. Yeah, James McCoy says, like Babylon 5.
James McCoy said, play golf, kill bystanders. That's my kind of golf.
Yeah,
I always wanted to do some kind, golf is really boring, but if you could play golf and kill bystander, my gosh, that would be amazing.
What if it was golf with like paintballs and you would have to hit people with the paintballs? How about that?
Actually, one of my weird thoughts is like, what if I have a golf cart and I have this, I get the better word for it is a mortar installed on the front. And instead of actually getting out of the golf cart and smacking the ball, you actually have to adjust the mortar and shoot the ball into the hole. And then if you miss, there's a keg in the back that you have to drink out of. So it's drunk mortar golf.
Well, John,
it could take off. I swear we could make millions with this.
Big millions. Yeah. Well, John, thank you for getting Gerald Kilby on. John just says
I can't wait to listen to his
Ireland.
His series. Yeah,
I bought the Belt series. Yeah.
Yep, so, I bought the Belt series just now, so I can't wait to. I'll start that one right. I'm actually listening to one called Salvage Crew, and the
You did mention
the voice actor is the main character from Firefly.
Death Race 2000 in Zero Gravity golf carts like the Lunar Rover.
Oh,
That'd be that.
I loved it. somebody's really
Death
reaching back, and McCoy's reaching way back. I love Death
Yeah.
Race 2000. That was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Sylvester Stallone
Sylvester
is in
Stallone was in that one. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
that
right.
was great.
And, Kung Fu, right? David
Yep.
Carradine.
David
George
Carradine.
is in the house. That's right. Thank you for joining us. And as a matter of fact, we were talking about this weekend. I believe that Rob Baum is going to meet up with us
No
on
way.
Saturday
Cool.
when we go to the show. Yes, it'll be cool. We'll take some pictures, hang out. It'd be nice to meet up with you guys if you're going to be there. And of course, Awesome Con that's coming up in June.
Yep.
We have a table. We have a location now. The map is up.
We have
And so-
special things to give away at Awesome.
Oh,
We'll
yes, we
talk
do.
about this later. Not right now.
Yes,
talk
we
about this
will.
later.
Major reveal when Diana Durango comes on.
Yep.
And she.
Oh
she-
yeah, Machine Gun Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. There
Sorry.
you go.
I interrupted.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, I think right now some of the main cast from the Stranded Warrior will be stopping by at our table, the IFB table, and they will be giving out free autographs and pictures, and hopefully we'll have some.
There'll be
have
special
some
giveaways at AwesomeCon and
There we go, yeah.
in DC. Yeah.
in DC. It's in Washington, D.C., Lola is asking. So if you guys are coming, please let us know. I put up the booth number, so it's on IFB, so you guys can check that out. And then there'll be a map. We'll put the map up as well, so you know where to find us. It'll be really, really cool. Yeah, so Diana Durango is coming. She's going to be a few minutes late, but she's definitely on the way. And that's going to be awesome. And then, Lola, I know it's far away, but hopefully we get to see you at
Our
Dragon
goal is to get to
Con.
Pensacon and Dragon Con. So Pensacon's
Yeah.
Florida. So
But definitely Dragon Con. We have our tickets.
Yep.
We have we
got
got press passes.
press passes.
Yeah.
Which is
So
Dragon Con's
we're
amazing
definitely-
for that. So they really treated
Yeah.
us well, IFB wise.
Yeah. Oh
So-
yeah. So that's happening. So today we also have Diana Durango and Bran is coming on from the International Starfleet Association. So he's going to come on and he's going to give us an update and tell us a little bit about what's going on in that Star Trek world that we also like to stay on top of as well. Susan says, a great interview. May have to start reading that series. My dad worked for NASA during the
Oh,
Mercury
wow.
and Apollo missions. Really?
That's
Oh, wow,
fantastic.
Really, really cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. I happen to have been an ambassador for Space Camp, and so I'd gone down there. I took my son, and we did the family program, which was phenomenal. And we got to meet the head of NASA at the time, former Marine Corps general, had come in, and we got to meet him in person, and it was really, really cool.
So Pete, you're
Yeah.
a space cadet.
Yeah, pretty much. We trained on one of the mock-ups. It was towards the very end of the space shuttle program, and the trainer that they have, the mock-up that they have, is an exact replica of the actual space shuttle. So the training they give you is on something that the astronauts themselves are like, yeah, this is like the same thing that we train on, and so it's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, But in the meantime, I did want to mention this, guys. There is Toy Ventures from it's a Canadian magazine, and they did do one with some Battlestar Galactica toys. So I'll follow that up. I know that there's a video on YouTube that comes that revolves around one of these magazines and the issue that has the Galactica toys, the kind of rare stuff. But this was kind of cool because you guys know that I happen to be a Planet of the Apes fan.
Aficionado.
Yeah, it's just cool stuff. So I just picked that up, and I want to share that with you. This happens to be issue number 5. But Yeah, so this weekend, John One is going to be going to the the Long Island Star Trek convention, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first one. It's a fan-run convention, and they have actors from every one of the series, every one of the Star Trek series are going to be there. If I'm not mistaken, I believe five actors from the original Star Trek, and one of them, Sandra Gimple, who was a stunt woman, played the Salt Vampire, and
Yeah.
a Telosian, I believe.
Yeah.
That we interviewed on our show. She's going to be there, so we're going to catch up with her.
What a fantastic person too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we're involved. IFB is on the press junket, and we've been allotted times with several of the guests. So John is going to take the lead on that, and we're going to do. He's going to do some interviews with them, and we'll bring that back and play that stuff. On IFB. So that's really really cool. And
Speaking of
yeah,
John, we're ready to go if you want to go that way.
Yeah, John, you want to pop on? It'd be great. John has some updates for us, our very own John One, and let's see. Hey, John, we're gonna hook up your audio. Let's make sure we press the right buttons and get you
Yeah,
going.
I'm pressing the right buttons, but I'm not getting anything from John. Oh, there we go. Ouch. Oh, it was there for a second. Now we lost it.
For a second, and then
There we got it.
again.
Ow.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
A little loose connection.
I wasn't connected there for a minute. I had a loose screw. Sorry about that.
No problem.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Well, if you've not seen these two movies yet, you're in luck. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is out on Paramount Plus. It was pretty good. It was pretty funny. I was surprised. I just watched it. And Ant-Man and the Wasp is on Quantumania, is on Disney Plus. I'm still watching Ant-Man. I'm just trying to snore through Michelle Pfeiffer. She really got old, but
Oh no, really?
yeah, it's like but she seems very tough, so it's okay. She kind of mellows it out. And Kirk Douglas' son is on that too. What's his name? I forgot his name. Michael Douglas. He's pretty funny.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely Ant-Man is definitely not the great Avenger.
No.
So, but it was fun to watch. Check it out. And it's coming to the end of the road for Barry Allen on CW's The Flash. The series finale will air Wednesday, May 24th. All good things must come to an end until the long-awaited DC movie with that troubled Flash star will be coming out on June 16th. So people saw it. They think it was pretty good. There's a Batman in it. So Michael Keaton's the Batman. A couple other surprises, but it looks like a pretty good fun romp from DC. Indiana Jones is coming to Disney Plus May 31st. All the Indiana Jones movies. You go from one to left. So we will see. And if you don't want, also the Young Indiana Jones series was on like 30 years ago because my mother sent me the video when I was in the Army. That's
Nice.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. It's been 30 years already. You believe that? Almost 30 years.
That's crazy.
93, God. Yeah, oh, man, I'm old. So that should be pretty good, too. That should be coming up for the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which will be out June 30th. Star Trek Strange New World is out June 15th. And there may be a crossover event. Worldwide fans can see Lower Decks, Jack Quaid, and Tawny Newsome, who play Boomer and Mariner, on the transponder deck. So that should be a little thing. It's not their cartoon characters, of course. It's their human characters. But who knows? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That'd be kind of I'm anxious to see. I loved Lower Decks, so that'll be good.
Yeah, Lower Decks is pretty good. This new season is there's going to be Klingons and what's her name? Bernadette Peters is going to be in it, too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she's going to be like the new engineer.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
Peters is an engineer. Okay, okay, we'll see. Hey, could be surprised. Okay, that should be pretty cool. May 24th, Disney Plus releases American-born Chinese. A young boy inherits a lot of martial arts powers and fights for his family. That should be pretty good too. That's coming out May 24th. Another series. Spider-Man and the Alternate Spider-Verse will be on the big screen for Spider-Man across. Oh wait, I skipped up. Whoops. Oh well. Well, that last one was FUBAR. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back on Netflix. He's a retired CIA agent trying to get back to his family, and he finds out that his daughter is also in the CIA. So he goes into a big series of trying to rescue her and get her out of whatever problem she's in. Okay, I guess Arnold did come back, but are we ready for old Arnold running around doing the one-liners?
No.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Sure.
Can't hurt.
As long as he's doing violence or he shoots somebody and says something really corny. All right, why not? That's what he was. An American-born Chinese. This is a young kid who fights for his family. His relatives come, and he gets a lot more powers and then some. So that should be a pretty good series coming on Disney Plus. And where am I now? Spider-Man Across the Universe is back. We want that. That's going to be see it theaters June 2nd. The ultimate animated version. I think it's going to be a 2-part series. So we don't know who the bad guy is yet, but it might be Doc Ock or the
Ooh, I like Doc Ock.
The Vulture. I'm not that sure, but that's pretty good. Spider-Man and all the other Spider-Man alternates should be coming out June 2nd. See you in the movie theaters. Well, my Spidey senses are telling me that this movie won't be very good according to the reviews. I'm going to wait for the stream because I think it's too late and it's just going to be a bomb, according to everyone says. But, no, hey, Transformers Rise of the Beasts will hit theaters June 9th. Reviews are not kind. Those animals should just go back into their animal zones and go back in the jungle and hide. Come out. How bad it'll be. But, hey, we got to make a buck. That's Transformers Rise of the Beasts.
Was it Spaceballs, The Search for More Money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fuck the rest of them. We had a couple more years. Let's make another movie. But we'll see. I'll probably take my sons to see that once he finds out that's out. So I'm not saying too loud if you hear about it. Okay, and now Babylon 5: The Road Home is an animated movie with many of the original actors lending their voices. Looking for a summer release. This should tie us over till the reboot comes around. Anything is better than nothing.
Yes.
Hint. We're still waiting for our reboot, but no one's saying anything. But at least Babylon 5 is on the way. So that'll make a lot of fans happy. So I'm looking forward to it. And that should be released probably this summer, they said. We don't know yet. It's still in production. So, what can you do? Well, let's see. This side. Well, the trailer came out for this new sci-fi movie. We're talking about AI. It's called The Creator. It's from the director of Rogue One. It's a story set in the future after a cataclysmic war with alternate artificial intelligence. They just decided to drop a nuclear bomb on Los Angeles, and they started a whole war. So people are trying to fight the AIs, and the AIs have armies and people. And one young soldier is tasked to defending humanity, and he ends up coming against trying to find a secret weapon. But the secret weapon's an AI child. So he has to.
Oh, no way. That sounds actually interesting.
By shooting an AI child. So he tries to rescue it and goes from there. But it's really good. If you see the trailer, it's some good actors. Kenny Watanabe's in it. A lot of good actors in this thing. It's going to be really good cinematography, so it looks pretty good. So that's going to be out September 29th, I think. So
awesome.
We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully,
actually, that one sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like this new AI thing is heating up again now. So
oh yeah, AI is very popular right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Control it, or that's it. But we also have a release date for Deadpool 3. With the best there is, bub. Wolverine. It's out September 6th, 2024. I'm looking forward to that immensely because Wolverine's my favorite comic book hero, and I got all his comics, and Deadpool's my second, so it should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Apple Plus is developing a Time Bandit series. The Time Bandit series. I can't wait for that to come out. And for this one, Lisa Kudrow is the bad guy.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, maybe I can wait a little bit.
I'm just seeing Friends now. Friends in space.
Is she going to be the bad guy? Is she going to play the Wet Kitty song? That sounds like in my head. But, hey, we'll see. There's good actors in that. Peter Dinklage's in it too, so. And the rest of the Seven Dwarfs. But we'll see. It looks to be pretty good. It's in post-production now. Let's see. And everyone else asking, when can they watch the original BSG series? Where can I watch it? Where can I see it? Well, BSG series is coming out in July on Blu-ray. There should be actually some specials. There should be some extra scenes in it. But we have your own 4K Blu-ray release coming out in July for Battlestar Galactica, the original series.
I will be buying that one.
Yep.
Just because it says Battlestar
yeah.
Galactica on it.
Yeah, of course.
That was the highlight
That's
of my
right.
report right there.
Well, that and the I'm trying to get a hold of. I've been reaching out, so I'd love to get a hold of that. Maybe I can reach out to them, see if they'll send us an advanced copy. That would be amazing. But also reaching out to Hallmark to see if I can get an advanced Battlestar.
Oh my
ornament.
God, that'd be so cool.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because there were doubts as to whether or not that was
Really true or
real
not?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we were
should put
like,
in
that can't be true.
Yeah, we should put in like a massive pre-order. Like an IFB goes in and gets like, massive pre-order, like all in one day, and overwhelm them and show them that Battlestar still has a future and that we still, we're still out there. That would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I'm going to reach back out to them because they did get back in contact with us. I asked who the person who created the piece, and they actually gave me his name. I haven't been able to get to him either, but they actually have signings with him or something somewhere. So I've been trying to find out more information on that. But cool, yeah, 4K.
I wonder when it goes on sale.
October.
Get a couple of October. All right.
Yeah, later in
On Christmas time, we do the
Right before Christmas. Yep.
put them up for trivia awards.
I'm sure Paul Rodder will be out there buying one and erasing Galactica off the side of it.
putting Pegasus.
And putting Pegasus.
Yes.
Or Helios. I'll be doing Helios.
I do Helios, yes.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Good one, John.
And then if you look through the window, you'll maybe see Diana in the inside, tiny little window.
A tiny Diana.
Tiny little
Durango
window with a
yeah.
tiny Durango
That's right.
in there. Yeah. Look at that. Eamon is in there.
Mike DeBruyne is on. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Appreciate it. Let's see. You know what? We were talking about AI, and George Zuvelos made an interesting comment, and he was saying that SAG-AFTRA actors may strike soon, based on the whole AI situation and how they're using it to, I guess. I would assume.
Oh yeah, you don't even need to. Yeah, I don't even hire the actors anymore. I just use AI now. It's amazing.
Yeah, you use the AI and they put their faces on them, and
especially the voice. The voice stuff is.
Yeah.
I mean, in my job currently, we're looking at some of the voice acting pieces that we want to. You can actually duplicate your own voice in some of these things. I mean, and they'll only let you duplicate your voice, but if you wanted Ernest P. Worrell or somebody in there, I'm probably dating myself with that one, by the way. But if you wanted somebody like that and you wanted their voice to read out a specific thing, you don't have to hire them anymore. You just go to AI and steal it.
That's right. That's right.
It's just,
well, John,
crazy.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. We're looking forward to the convention you're going to be hitting that on Saturday. I will meet up with you on Sunday. Do your thing. And, thanks for taking care of business, man. I'm looking forward to hooking up with you on Sunday, but Saturday, do what you got to do, man.
Yep.
Okay. I'll be answering good questions. And if you guys go to the card show, if you guys come across a Wilma Deering card or...
Just Wilma? Is that the only one you're looking for?
Wilma from Buck Rogers.
Princess Ardala.
Princess Ardala. Dax from Space Nine. Just for research purposes.
Oh my God! Please tell me there's a Flash card set up.
What is it?
It's got to be
What's
Flash
your,
Gordon.
Request there? Your special request?
A Wilma.
Princess Ardala or Wilma. Come on, catch up. The two hottest science fiction, other than Diana there. The two hottest science fiction females in there. And I think Dale Arden. I don't know. Do they have? Is there a Flash Gordon, 1980s Flash Gordon?
No, not that I know of. I think so.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. But anyway, John, here's to you, man.
Yep.
Thank
John,
you for
outstanding.
what you're doing,
Thank
bro.
you so much, sir. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you. Talk to you
All
soon.
right. So I believe that our other guest is out in the ether somewhere. Chris, if you take
I believe
a
you're
look.
correct. Hang on.
All right. So
Yeah,
I think that
she's there.
Yeah. All right. Stop with the hand gestures. Stop with the
Because
hand
she
gesture.
belongs to me. That's right.
Boy. All right. Relax. Stranded warrior on the mind all the time.
That's it.
Yeah. So I think without further ado, then, in the green room
Yes.
is our very own Diana Durango. And
Ta-da.
welcome.
Hi. So I know that last time there was an issue with hearing me. Are you guys good this time?
We are perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. How are you guys doing? I mean, it took me a few days to get out of that character, and I felt so sad. I was sad. I felt production blues.
It's like, we talk about, we go to these, Comic Cons, and you actually have con withdrawal. I think this was movie withdrawal. This was fan fiction. You have a withdrawal. You're like, man, what do I do now? It's like,
how the kid
you almost start depression.
Well, post-production blues, like it's an actual, I like coined it in some of my papers. Post-productions, you're like depressed because you're not that person anymore. But I looked at it and I'm like, the kid in the car where he goes, "Dad, are we there yet? Are we there yet?" It's like, are we done? Are we done?
No, please don't. Yeah.
No. Like, I don't have to wake up early in the morning and put my makeup on. And that was such a great set, and the script is great, and I got to talk like this the whole time, and it was just lovely, quite lovely.
Even George says that you were great, by the way.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
Yes, you were.
And I wrote to you afterwards. I was like, so I got to play a part in this as well. I mean, not only directed, but it was kind of an unintentional thing. And I was like, I went back and watched it because we have some of the video, and I'm like, I don't remember being or saying those specific things or doing those specific things. I was you had put me into that character so far. It was like, oh my gosh, what power. What power.
It was, thank you. It was good. But the thing is, you guys wrote a great script. The costuming, your daughter did such a great job with the costuming. I was blown away, and everybody had their costume. And we had people coming in from around the U.S. with their costume. Oh my gosh. So I was blown away by that and all of the technology and all the green screen stuff. And just don't get me started. It was great. Let's do it again. Let's go again.
Yeah. Let's not make it end. Please don't make us end.
We love
I don't want it to stop.
Oh, but it was great. It was great, and we enjoyed having you. And we were your talent and your skill raised the production to a whole other level. And I think it's important that you hear it from us, because you already know how talented you are. You know what
Sorry,
you're
you made me
about.
cry.
Well, but it's all true. It's all true, and you're very humble. But when everybody gets to see this, and they've seen some of your other work that's out there, and more work coming, but when they see this, it's really, really cool. I mean, you're 101%, or some say there's no more than 100%, but 101%. You bring the A game, and it was incredible. And we're looking forward to promoting the Stranded Warrior. It is a showcase, right, Diana? I mean, coming into this, that the whole idea was we wanted to make sure that the fans know that there is a deep love for this particular show, and that we are equal in terms of Battlestar Galactica, that we're equal to, those fans putting out Star Wars and Star Trek, and believe it or not, other fan films, other movies and TV shows,
Yeah.
they put out their stuff. And so we want to make sure that those that were involved, like yourself, are all on the same page. We're all out there doing this because we're passionate about, film and acting and the genre and your
The storyline too, like the storyline, the plight, the intricacy. It's not just a simple line. There's so much that I was learning these things, and I'm even like learning some of the words and why is this happening with this person? There's so much that goes into it. And to me, it is on line with Star Wars. It is in line with, all of these like intergalactic space shows as well. So I look at this has to continue and come out. This has to keep on going forward. So it was great. And the helmet with the light that came on and the intensity and
Mediocre modeler, if you're out there, you should be happy now.
Yep.
And the knife.
Wait,
he made the knife too.
Yes, the knife. Like, does somebody get that helmet? Somebody has.
Yeah, someone donated $3,000 to help us fund that project, so they could get that helmet.
Yeah.
That helmet is amazing.
Yeah.
Doug, if you're out there,
I'm jealous, Cuddy.
Yep, it's
jealous.
waiting. We have it packed up, and when we're ready, all the perks will go out. Charlene Donatello is watching. Charlene, thank you for tuning in. Charlene has been involved with the Battlestar Galactica fandom for decades. One of the early in the organizers. So Charlene, who continues to be involved, thank you very much for tuning and supporting us. And Mediocre Modeler says, I am extremely ecstatic, as you should be, Mediocre Modeler, because your props were just really cool.
I have that prop sitting to my left, and it still has blood on it. I'm not joking. Here,
all right. Relax. Don't give it all away, man.
Don't giving it all away. Here we go. Ready? Hang on, let me get me.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oops.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Oh, there's a knife.
Look at that.
Thing was sharp.
You can still see the blood on it.
Sharp. I
There's
was
Anubis.
mortified. I'm like, look at that. I was mortified on jabbing. And I'm like, oh my god, am I getting, because I really to it, and I'm like, oh goodness gracious, it actually hurt. I was mortified. It's sharp. That thing.
It is sharp. Yeah, you could definitely hurt somebody with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
More than a letter opener, I'll tell you that much.
So, Diana, last time you stopped in, we got to talk a little bit about your background and a little bit about your career, but this is maybe a little bit of a part two. What drove you to get into acting? I mean, you have many other talents outside of acting, but what drove you into acting?
Did I already tell you about my first acting gig? Did I ever tell you what that was? No. My acting gig, and I always say this, I was 4 years old, and they asked me to act as the Virgin Mary for a Christmas play, and I was hooked. So that, and then throughout school, I was always in plays, and then I was 16 years old, and Charlize Theron came out with a movie, Monster. And they were having these auditions, like somewhere around Orlando. And I went to a Catholic school. I had these honors classes that I had to be in or what have you. And my mom went over. She goes, you're not ditching school. You're going to go to your class. You do this. And I went over and I got out of the car and I said, you're ruining my life. I need to go do this and I need to be an actor. You don't understand. And I slammed the door. And I'm like, you're ruining that. I feel it in my bones. So I'm in history class. Sister Mary Glass calls me and she goes, Durango, And I go, what do you want? My life is ruined. She goes, don't give me that. Come on. She goes, I'm letting you leave. Your mom asked if she could take you out of school, and she's going to drive you to your audition. So I walked in.
Wow.
I didn't know. Yep. I didn't know anything about Patty Jenkins, who is an independent filmmaker, by the way. I didn't know anything about her. I knew Charlize Theron from Sweet November. I knew nothing of method acting. I knew Christina Ricci from the Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was young, so they were prepping me for my role or what have you. And they're like, wait, you're like 16, 17 years old? And I said, yeah. They're like, there. So they had to bring my mother on set because I couldn't be on set without an adult. So they actually, my mom actually came on set with me. And I'm at the scene where she throws this guy over the table in Monster. So that was my first movie. But the deal was that Sister Mary Glavin said, I get to go see the movie if you do it. And I said, sure. I didn't know who Charlize Theron was, who Eileen Wuornos was. I didn't know she was a murderer. I didn't know she was going to get raped by a baseball bat.
Oh no.
Sister Mary Glavin.
Sister Mary's going to be a little shocked.
Just a little. So she went to go see it. And I went to law school, and they said you cannot do anything during law school, and acting was just in me. It was in me. I did some stuff during college, and it was just in me. And I said, I'm going to skip my civil procedure class. And I went down St. Charles Avenue, and I walked into the columns where I saw these production vehicles. And you don't do this. You know, as a seasoned actor, you do not walk on set. Walked on set, and I said, look, I need to do something on my weekends. I need to do something. Just give me something to do. I will hold the boom. I will get the gum off of people's shoes. I will do anything you need me to do. I'm down the street in law school, and I just need this to go somewhere. I'm an actor. The guy goes, wait, you don't belong here? He goes, you got some balls, kid. You walked in here like it was just like nothing. He goes, but you're an actor. I was like, yep. He goes, go figure. He goes, we need somebody for the weekend. We need an extra.
That's awesome.
So I sat down, they put a wig on me, and I'm sitting down with Forrest Whitaker, the back of my head in a wig. He's serving me tea in the middle of the columns. And from there, I started doing movies in New Orleans. And New Orleans was a great time period. We did Wild Card. We did Hitch. We did The Apes. We did all these really cool American Horror Story, really cool projects. And then I got back to Florida. And I'm like, what am I doing here? What's going to go on? My life is over as an actor. I didn't want to go to LA. I didn't know anybody. And I met a few casting directors up north through a program that I did here. I set it all up. I know people. I like to bring people together, right? So this person needed a location with planes and all this stuff. You need that? I got it. I said, do you want to use that helicopter? Yeah, we do. And I said, okay, you're going to let me jump off of it with an Uzi in my hand.
Oh my gosh.
I've never done stunt work before then. None of it. And they go, wait, what? I said, do you want to use it? We can get a lot of awards that way. Do you want to use it? And she goes, I'm going to go upstairs. And I didn't know the rules with stunt work, and I wasn't SAG at that point. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So they hovered the airplane a few feet on. I jumped out with my Uzi. I was an assassin, and I'm screaming to the camera. And there was a guy there. He's an actor. His name is John Thompson. He's from New York. He goes, you got a lot of balls, kid. Again, the balls. You got a lot of balls. That's gutsy. I need to introduce you to some people. So he introduced me to Debbie Markowitz, and she introduced me to Fred Carpenter there, and also Judy San Roman and Marianne. Oh my goodness, Marianne. I forgot Marianne's last name. But they went over, they put me in some movies, and I did movies up in New York. So that's how I made that New York connection. And somewhere along the line, I started and I'm funny, go figure. But go figure, oops, sorry. Just a blonde girl with a brain is funny. I mean, it's not like you guys would know that I'm funny on set, right? Come on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think somebody mentioned earlier that you danced really well and sang with Tara very well.
With
all that jazz.
Yes. So, I looked at that. I looked at method acting, and I said, I need to do that. and I spent time at the Lee Strasberg Actor Studio in New York, and that really changed my life as an actor. And I got raw. I mean, there were so many layers on me that I was holding in and closing off, and I had to come to terms with myself, with my traumas, with a lot of my fears, with things that really bothered me in my life and that I was afraid to expose.
Wow.
And I finally let it out. And that's the thing at the actor studio. I learned how to be real. And when you see me in any of my roles, that there's a reality there that you're getting from me. There's a rawness. And I don't like to cheat the audience that way. And when you said you looked at me like when you were killing that person, you looked at me like you were doing it for me. In that scene study, in my mind, the reality of it, how many times have you been in this passionate moment and you're like, I'm doing this for you? So you put yourself in that melody as a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I became a method actor, and it's hard. It's tedious. Just tell me that I'm selfish for it. But they win awards after I'm acting for them for my method acting.
There you go.
And I also, George is a method actor with myself. So we were both taught by Lola Cohen, who is going to be teaching in Paris come June, and also Maurizio Bustamante. But I mean, that's acting, and you're allowed in act. You're allowed to show all of those vulnerable insides that you have in there. You're allowed to show your anger, your pain, your distrust, your inability to cope. And for myself, that I'm in here, and also I'm a therapist, by the way, guys. So there you go. But in the world where I am, you have a certain box of professionalism where you're in this bubble, and you have to have decorum. You have to have a certain personality as a therapist, as a professional. These places that we are forced to explore as actors, it's unique. It's spiritual for me. It's a prayer. It's something that I feel so honored and blessed to be able to do. And it's not easy. But when you see me, and I say this all the time, Liam Neeson said this, he goes, make it a prayer. I'm praying. I'm giving every single thing that you have inside of me. I'm killing myself inside, letting it all gush out and hoping that I come back alive. And that's what we do as actors. We use ourselves up. If you're the right actor, if you're a right actor, you use yourself up. You let yourself bleed to the camera, bleed to the audience, bleed in that moment, let yourself die, hoping that you can resurrect yourself. So that's long story long. There you go.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
And plus, you're not
is.
some pretty face. You're getting ready to graduate, aren't you?
I'd graduate. So technically I did not make it to my graduation, but I did graduate. So yeah, I am finally there. It's the first leg. So yeah. And then I have my PhD coming up.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Quite an accomplishment.
It was during COVID. So definitely
Yes.
therapy during COVID, movie make COVID. It definitely it was different. And during this time period I lost my dad. I'm certain that you guys probably lost people as well. So he just kept on telling me, go forward, do what you're wanting to do. Whoa, is that? No. I'm looking at that.
They can't see it yet, so.
Oh, that is crazy. Sorry.
Yeah. That's our surprise for you tonight, by the way.
Thank you. But no, I lost my dad. So he said, you do what you want to do with passion. You stay close and you stay true to yourself. You stay true to God. You stay true to what you want to do, but always, and again, I'm sorry if I offend people that are out there, but he said, you stay true to the source of God. And as long as you're doing it with love and with faith and you're not hurting anybody, you do exactly what you want to do and you go forward with it. And this is something where, yes, I am a therapist. Yes, I went to law school, but at the core of who I am, I'm an actor. And at the core of who I am, and I tell my patients this, my thesis of my life is come in with acting, come in contact with feelings, be open and honest with them, and allow them to express themselves in a very constructive way. And that is what acting is for me. So yeah, there you go.
Wow.
And I get to talk like this, which is actually quite wonderful. So there you go.
All I can say is I get to act in the scene with you, and it was life-changing. I can say that because I've never acted before. Never did anything.
You haven't acted?
Never acted
ever?
Before, ever. So
I thought you had acted before, given, and I'm not just saying this. I thought you had acted, given how we interacted.
No, I've never acted before.
Look at you, sir.
So it literally was life-changing for me because it was just, I was so into the role, and you pushed me farther into the role, and it was like, wow, this is intoxicating. Yeah, is the best word for it I could say. Is it's a whole different feeling when you're on set with someone and you are acting for them, and in turn they are acting for you, and you lose yourself in the role. In it. I was like, whoa, this is wild. I've written, I've done writings, and I've done, the directing stuff and stuff, but actually getting into a scene like that, it was like, wow. I was like, holy cow, this is amazing.
So I want to ask you, how did you feel? What did that feel like?
Power. That's the best word I could say.
Here's the other question. Yeah. Where did you feel it? Because that's what we use as acting. With me, it's my fingers.
I felt I power all over. I was like, I have control of this person. I felt as though this person is totally giving themselves to me, and I have control of them. And it was like, and then, when the scene's over, you're like, it's like, it's like, holy crap.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I was lucky enough I ended up directing those scenes because you guys were center stage.
You were so good, Peter. Just so everybody knows, I trust Peter with my life. And he is like Clint Eastwood. The way that you are as a director, and again, I've never worked with Clint, but I've heard stories of Clint. So smooth, and it's not ding 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 ding. It's so smooth. You just trust Peter, and it just flows, and that makes a difference for an actor. Because if you cut it, our spikes, and then you get that high talking thing, and you have to come down, but you just make it smooth. So yeah, sorry. Continue, Peter. Go ahead.
Don't stress out the actors.
No, and that's part of it's a technique that you typically pick things like that up from really good mentors, and I was lucky enough to have really good instructors at School of Visual Arts, where I studied directing and producing, and that's where I got that from. And it's a respect for the actor and their talent and their trade. So when they're in that moment, you need to let that play out. So that was always something that I picked up from others that knew how to do it before me. But thank you. I did want to mention a couple of things, Diana. We have with us some really, really great supporters and friends. Eric Engler, thank you for tuning in.
Eric.
And there's a couple others I don't want to miss here. Dave Francoeur and David Lamont, thank you for tuning in live. You were here live with Diana Durango, co-starring in The Stranded Warrior, specifically our production. Diana, you're doing other things too. Tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you can mention, because I know that you have other movies that you're working on.
Yeah, what's upcoming?
Mm-hmm. So we have a really great feature that actually, Peter, you were part of this feature. And Chris, you came to a scene that I was in called Once a Week for Life. George Zuvalos wrote, directed it. He's in it. There's some amazing actors that you guys will definitely miss in that feature. I have a Halloween movie coming up. Is a fan film based on the Halloween movies.
Ooh.
So I'm playing Laurie Strode, which I have a movie with Dean Cain and Eugenie Bonder. His heart amazingly. Oh, wait, am I frozen? Freeze.
There you go.
Oh, there we
Wireless,
go.
wireless video, wireless internet. Wonderful thing.
Sorry, I hate that.
It's all right.
Who did you say?
Sorry, it's so bad. What was it?
Dean Cain?
So Dean Cain and Eugenie Bondurant are doing a movie called Don't Jump. And the script was written by Debbie Paulson, amazing woman. It's about her experience that she had with her son. And I did not know that, and as a therapist, hearing what this was, it was very surprising to me, and I didn't even know it was very rare. It is OCD, but the behavior is suicide, trying to commit suicide. And he eventually succeeded, and it was devastating. So this movie is called Don't Jump, and it's about her plight and her exploration with really, really great movie. Dean Cain is in there. Eugenie Bondurant from Goodness Humps. She's in it, and she's also in The Conjuring. There is what else? I'm in a faith-based movie where I'm playing Hannah, in the biblical Hannah, and also starting to
remember the story.
Yeah. And it's based on Jacques Saint Germain. So I don't know if you guys know who Germain is, but if you do not, look up Jacques Saint Germain, New Orleans, and that what I'm writing. And I would love to have you guys on board as actors because of the fact that would be wonderful. So, yeah, we have, and I'm trying to think. There's one more. I just
one.
got
I mean,
gosh,
it's not like you've given 20 so far.
It's weird. But again, I'm so happy. But the issue is, as George brought up, June 30th is the date that our contracts are up between SAG and the guild that they're having these negotiations with. So if they don't meet negotiations by June 7th, we might, as Screen Actors Guild members, and hopefully, I pray that doesn't happen. I really pray that doesn't happen, but it affects a lot of stuff. And there are a lot of actors. I mean, some of the major actors are Screen Actors Guild members. A lot of the actors that we had on Once a Week for Life are Guild members. So imagine what that's going to be like in the middle of production. You just don't go to work the next day. That's scary.
It stops,
And so what's happening, what discussed is that it's a lot of inflation issues. It's the cost of medical expenses, retirement, all of that fun stuff. And again, it's the AI. That's a name and likeness and put me in any movie that you want. And
not have to pay you.
That's scary. And for me, and I look at people do, and some of the patients that I've had, they're kind of really messed up people, and looking at what they do, it scares the crap out of me. Somebody can get my name and likeness and go into that metaverse, commit a crime, and go over and say that was Diana. Or somebody can go over and say that's her identity. She went over and she did that. That scares me that it's getting to that point.
I'm seeing a horror movie right there.
I don't know. Robotics scare me.
That's a good horror movie.
Thank you.
Thing.
Anybody want to write it? I'm in.
Yeah. Done. I'm working on it now. Working on it right now.
Diana,
I'm in. I'm totally in.
We have a special reveal tonight. We wanted to honor the the starring cast and some of the others, but you as part of the primary support co-starring in the Stranded Warrior. And if the planets align, there's a possibility that you might come to a convention or two. We know that AwesomeCon in DC is in June. We have commissioned. Chris is working hard on putting it all together. We have made a small run of collector's cards that are dedicated to the characters in the main characters in the Stranded Warrior, and of course you're one of the main characters, and this is going to be your card that we're having made up.
You have a baseball card.
And, you're going to be card number 2.
So cool.
And so for those that do come to the AwesomeCon in June in Washington, D.C., if you come find us at our table, we will have a very limited number of first come, first serve. We're going to have these cards. There's a few of them in this set. Yep. And of course, Mr. George Zuvalos is number 1 since he plays Captain Martin. And then Diana, you're card number 2, of course. And on the back, we have a little bit of a write-up on your character. Your name, of course, you're portraying the character, and your IMDb QR, and then a QR that goes to the Stranded Warrior. Wow. And this is a little homage to you guys. We thank you and appreciate you, and wanted to have a little something for you guys to be able to look back, and also to thank the fans. Right, so for those that are coming and are gonna go the extra distance, these are available to, like I said, a first come first serve. It's they're free, 1 per person, and this is your card. If you've never had a non-sports card, now you do. So courtesy of the Stranded.
Oh my God, wow. Oh my God.
So now the question is, you get 1 of 2 choices. We haven't sent this off for printing yet. So you've got the star background, or you've got the fire background.
Oh. So she's fiery. She's like one firefly. She's the firefly from hell. But I like the star background because she's up in space. Because when she goes out, as she looks, I can't let it all out though, right? So I'm not going to let out the story. Right. But when she's looking out into space, I always see her in that like vacuum of space. I like that one. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
When are you? So here's a question for you. When are you giving these out? What day?
Depends. Like these are Friday. The convention, the show is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and if like I said, if the planets were to align and you were able to come, and we, you said, all right, well, I can be there on such and such a date, then obviously we would hold that card back for you so that you could autograph them. And
that's what I was going to go over and say. So my cousin lives in DC, and I will be up there. Ooh. So I already planned this out. I am going to be there for that. So I'm going to buy the tickets. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do that. So I will be there with you guys. And I just, whatever day you guys want to do it, I will be there. So I will be able to see everybody too. Yay!
And awesome. we will debut the card, and you will be there then to do an on-site interview, and then of course you'll autograph the cards and take pictures with any of the fans.
And you haven't been to a Comic-Con before, have you?
Fantastic. I have never. Okay, so we have Comic-Cons here in Tampa and in Orlando, and I've never been to. This is my first one.
So we have a conversion.
There gets to teach me things.
Yeah, so we have a conversion. So our other thought was to follow you around inside the con and record your reactions to some of the things that are there.
I'm all about it. I'm all
It's kind of like be like a conversion type thing,
You're gonna have a good time.
Do you dress up? Do you dress up for a Comic-Con? Do I
Us
dress
normally
like
we do our IFB thing. So we're normally running around with cameras and interviewing people who are dressed up and the
Yeah.
fandom. So it's for us it's all about the fans and the fandom, the people
Yeah.
who go out there and create or live in that universe and talking to
I
those
love
people
it.
instead of just I mean a lot of people want to go and I guess there's going to be Doctor Who and everybody else is going to be there this year, but it's like
Yes.
we're not really concentrating on those people because
Right.
they're actors and they're fantastic actors, but somebody behind the scenes created that story. Somebody behind and so
Right.
many people are fans of like Doctor Who and they dress up and they do. So we love to talk to the fans as well as the actors. So it's
Wait,
always
can
great.
I go around? Can I go around with you guys at this convention, asking questions and also discussing their?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited!
Definitely not a problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm excited. Oh, I love it! I love it! I love it! I love it! So I believe that the George K is going. Correct? Is George K going?
Yes.
So-
George K. He told us he was coming, so he has his own card as
So-
well.
Jimmy may be coming too.
So could we potentially, if they're all down for it, could each of us find a favorite Comic-Con character at the end of the day and bring them to like our and see who wins?
Oh yeah,
To see,
Yes.
I'm so excited. That'll
that'd
be
be
so
cool.
much fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be a great idea.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I'm stoked. I
Yes,
love
we
it.
can.
Perfect.
Yes. Oh,
I'm
that
all
would
about
be
it.
great. We'd
Right?
we'll
I
have a
think
great
that'd be
time.
great.
We,
I think
so
it'll
we
be
have
awesome.
our own table. We have our own table, and at the table we're gonna have one of the posters, the Stranded Warrior poster, and then we'll have a place there with a chair for you guys to meet any fans or anyone that's interested in your character or the Stranded Warrior or IFB, whatever. And that's you'll be able to talk to them, and like I said, give autograph the card and take a
I'm
picture
all
with
about
whoever. We know that there is going to be a Battlestar Galactica group. There is a group that they do cosplay,
Yep,
and they will
CMOD.
be there. And so they're
Wow.
definitely going to come over, and they're interested in meeting you and anyone else that comes. So that includes George Zuvalos too. I would imagine he might.
Yes.
I don't know.
Is he coming?
He might. He
I think
might.
he is.
He might.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I know George. I think George is watching. Yes, he is. So George Zuvalos will put you on the
George,
spot.
I want you to come, please. I don't care. You need to be there. If you're not there, this is not happening. You need to be there. Thank you.
So no pressure, George. No pressure, but
No
there you
pressure,
go.
George, but just be there.
yes. So we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and let's see.
Yeah,
have
here's-
fun. Dress up if you want.
Yeah.
Kim Harm says, "Dress up if you want." Kim is a big supporter of both the Stranded Warrior and IFB, and so thank you, Kim. So yes, we typically, Diana, typically Chris and I, we will wear in between, if we're not actually reporting or interviewing, we put on our Battlestar Galactica jackets. But so we look forward to having
Those
you
jackets,
not
by the
only.
way, are amazing.
There's,
Oh!
there's George's.
Yes, that is.
There you go,
so
George.
good.
There's your card, man. There he is, Captain Morton in all his glory, taking care of business. So with that
George,
said,
looks
Diana,
so
we
good.
want you to come back so we could talk a little bit more. And maybe
Yeah.
you know what? How about we do we try to set something up after the convention, and you come back and
Yes.
we'll talk a little bit about the convention, and
Yeah,
we'll see what
What
the,
what it felt
and
like to go to a convention for the first time.
Yeah, some convention debriefing. I love it. I'm all
Yeah.
about this.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then I can do like a little segment on tips to going to a convention that I didn't know that I should have.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, and see,
that would be fantastic.
Wear
and then I
comfortable
can use
shoes.
that in the setup. See, I can be totally about this. Oh
Excellent.
yes, there we go.
Diana Durango here. This is cheers to you. Thank you for coming. We always enjoy having you on. You're awesome, and we'll see you at the convention.
Yes.
And
DC?
one of those cards are mine. One of those autograph cards are mine.
Yes.
Card.
Through me, anything is possible.
There you go, Italy. There you go.
Thank you.
Love you guys. See you in DC.
All right,
Bye,
take
guys.
care.
All right, so let's see. Brand new collector card set with 40-year-old brittle bubblegum stick.
No bubblegum sticks are going to be in there.
Gum.
I almost threw
got
up
the
last
gum.
time, so.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we probably have Bran should be in the wings.
Yes, he is.
Bran?
He's been
Yes,
very
well, let's
patient.
bring on Bran. Bran, thanks for joining us and being patient. Bran's going to give us a little. Bran, what's up, buddy?
Hey, not much. Patience isn't a problem. You know, it was kind of cool to listen to. Your fan film sounds pretty exciting, so I was glad to listen to it, so it's fine.
A lot of
Cool,
there's lots of Star Trek fan films. We just finally got ours going.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of Battlestar fan films, are there? I haven't seen very many anyway out there, so you're filling a pretty good niche
I
there.
got the wrong lower third for you. Oops, I screwed that one
Yeah,
up.
you do. Look at that. Gosh,
hang on, we'll fix that.
God.
Yeah, I got to fix that.
Can't let the
we'll take care
Cylon
of
do
that.
anything.
No.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Too much
What
stuff
is
going
up
on.
with that? Oh, is that what it is?
No.
Yeah, that's definitely not
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
still not it. No, you're still.
No,
Yeah.
that's still way off.
No, Bran is.
All right, well, let me fix that. So hang on.
Bran, I was poking around since I proudly have joined the Starfleet Association, right? And
Yeah, one of us. Yeah, welcome aboard.
I had actually, you and I had, last time you came on the show, you had mentioned that USS Tiburon has members from all over the world, and
Yes.
I don't know, I hadn't really, when you said it, it struck a chord. So you had said that there's, fans all over, and I was like, well, if you can actually accept fans from all over, well then, what the heck? I mean, I've always been a big Star Trek fan, and I figured I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. So I'm now a member of your ship, quote, right?
Yep.
And
You are. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Ship. Yep.
I have my membership number, and I just realized that you're actually in command, or you oversee all of is it the membership of all the membership?
So I am the membership services director for Starfleet. It's a new, what we call executive committee position. So the executive committee is kind of the upper officers. So I oversee a bunch of little departments. We do the promotions, the awards, the help desk. So if you have a problem, we have a help desk that you can submit a ticket to get your problem fixed. Your email is not working, your address is wrong, you're not getting something, no access to the Starfleet Academy or stuff like that. And then what else is there? There's a whole bunch of stuff. A new department we're launching here in the next month should be orientation, where we're going to do Zoom orientation classes to help new members kind of learn what the organization is, instead of just kind of letting the chapters do it. And then retention and recruitment is also under me. So we're going to start trying to get out there and doing a little more recruiting for the organization itself, instead of just letting the chapters do it, because that's kind of how that works right now. And then kind of promote Starfleet in general as, the largest and longest officially running Star Trek fan club in the world. So yeah, that's what I do.
And yes, I never wanted to trivialize that, but we just didn't. We just didn't realize. I didn't realize you're pretty humble about all of this, and we were lucky enough to run into you and get into some pretty cool conversations about Star Trek during the setup at the convention that was in Denver, and it was just incredible. And that's kind of like how we are here now today. But in the meantime, like I said, Bran, I was doing some of the reading. I went into the Communiques, which is the periodical, the magazine that comes out. I don't know, is it monthly or
It's quarterly now. It used to
Quarterly.
be monthly or bi-monthly, excuse me, for a long time when it was a printed magazine or printed newsletter. It's gone through a lot of changes over the years. Now it's a combination of an electronic newsletter and then I think it's a flip book or one of those. It's an online thing. You download the PDF to look at that as well. But yeah, so it comes out quarterly from Starfleet. It gets emailed right to you. You don't need to do anything besides just open your email, really.
Yeah, which is cool. It's a PDF, and it's the so members get to see the entire library. Which I was just going through it, and I was like, yeah, this is really really cool. I had been briefly involved during the Wrath of Khan.
Oh wow.
I actually, I was involved, and I had gone out and I'd gotten a packet from Starfleet, and it was membership applications. So I remember going to the premiere of the Wrath of Khan and giving those out, and I did that for a while. That's been how many years? But
Couple.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to continuing and getting the updates, especially not only from the organization itself, since it's only 5,000 plus strong, but
Yeah, pretty good though.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Bran, we did talk on the show earlier. We discussed a little bit about the fact that there is a strike going on, and it's the Writers Guild
Yep.
is going on strike, and it's starting. There's a ripple effect. Do
Yes.
you know if is it going to impact or has it impacted any of the Star Trek franchises?
So, season 2 of Strange New Worlds, which is the next show to come out in just a couple of weeks, June 15th, is done, wrapped up, all post production is done. So that'll air as predicted. And then I believe the next season of Lower Decks is all done as well. What I have heard is that it has delayed season 3 of Strange New Worlds that was supposed to begin filming, I think this past week or this next week, sometime this month. So obviously that's put on hold because you can't do rewrites and you can't do all that stuff.
Right.
And we as a fan, I completely support the writers. I've heard some horror stories from some of them about how they're treated and their stuff. And there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's kind of like, and I don't know her name, I apologize, but the actress you just had on in your show talking about the AI stuff. And that's another big thing that's happening, right? You can just tell the AI to write an entire story and then pay one person to fix it, and then you don't need writers for much. And I think that's not great for them. And they don't get residuals a lot of the time either. So it kind of, you pour your, I mean, watch season 3 of Picard and not want to give love to the writers. I don't know how you could do that. So yeah, it has delayed. I know season 3 right now filming that was supposed to start filming of Strange New Worlds, and I would guess I haven't heard officially how far they are in season 5 of Discovery, which of course is the last season. I do know, I think that was supposed to be filming or just finished filming. So that might be past the need for writers. But I do know that season 3 of Strange New Worlds the starting of filming has been delayed. So I don't know if that will ripple down to the show not premiering whenever it's supposed to, which of course is in the future. And then of course any new projects, right? Because obviously they just announced the Academy series that's supposed to start filming next year, and the Section 31 movie with Michelle Yeoh. Yes. Those will probably also be kind of pushed back because they're a little early in the production, so it might not affect them if they come to an agreement. But I would imagine it's going to push it off a few weeks anyway at this point.
Bran, any we talk a lot about books and writers and stuff. Is there any books that you've actually read in the like I'd say like I'm not sure how much reading or audiobooks you do, but if you had to like maybe recommend a couple, what would you recommend that you've maybe read recently?
Gosh. Haven't had a lot of time in the last few months because I started a new job about 9 months ago, and that is taking up all my time. But there is
Doesn't
a bunch.
it suck? If you want to live indoors and eat, you have to have a job. So
yeah, and work 8 or 9 hours a day, then run home and get ready for a podcast and then go eat dinner at some point. I'm supposed to eat, but
that's secondary.
There's a bunch of books. Yeah, my weight would probably not mind that too much. But there is a bunch of books that have recently come out for the Picard series. I think I'm 1 book or 2 books behind now, come to think of it. But they have been really good. All the Star Trek books recently have been really good. I'm pretty good friends with a couple of the authors, Dayton Ward and Kevin, whose name I'm now forgetting because now he's going to beat me up, but that's okay. Dillmore, there it is. And what I really think, last time I talked to them, so Simon & Schuster is obviously the big Star Trek book producer. And early in the days, if you pay attention to the books, they're all over the place. They're scattered. The stories don't connect or anything. And that was always kind of a problem for me. I'm like, why am I reading this weird book? But they have come together and kind of decided where things are going and who's going to direct, or who, direct a story this way or direct a story that way, or tie into this show or tie into that show. So any of the newer books are really good. I really like I said, the Picard books that just came out. And then there's some older ones. I mean, Imzadi, which is, 20 years old, is a great book. And then some of the original series books I really like are Dreadnought. That's a really old book. I think
actually,
that was
that's on my bookshelf over there.
Read it.
Yeah, yep. Dreadnought is a fantastic book. And then actually, what is the name? It's by, I'm failing. My Star Trek card is going to be taken away. It's written by Andrew Robinson, who plays Garak, and it's the story of Garak after the end of Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
And it's about time or something like that. I don't remember the name of the book. Actually, it's a fantastic book. And actually, the Tiburon is reading that in their book club right now, as a matter of fact. And I can't remember the darn name of it. Wow. So I'm failing all over the place. I'm horrible. It's
a great book. Like it's he goes back. I believe his character goes back to Cardassia, and it talks about the whole Obsidian Order and what happens, and it tells a lot about his backstory. I remember reading it years ago, but it was fantastic because his character is so cool, and so it kind of lets us into his mindset.
Stitch in Time. That's what it's called. Sorry.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Excellent.
Get my card
Excellent
back.
Stuff.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, of course. But Bran, we also, a lot of the fans are big, into cosplaying, and I know that Starfleet is also a supporter of the cosplay, just like the 501 is. And so I kind of want to put in a special request that in your future briefs that we kind of talk a little bit about what it's like to are there standards, is there a place to look to get, it's not armor, right? We're not stormtroopers per se, but there's a whole aspect to doing Star Trek cosplay, whether it's the TOS and being, making original pieces and doing that kind of stuff is part of, the whole thing anyway. So I think it'd be kind of cool because I know you do that to kind of talk about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we don't have, like in the same way the 501st does, we don't have standards. It's kind of left up to the different chapters what they want to do. Or how rigid they want to be. I personally in the Tiburon have a pretty lax attitude because we want you to have fun. Not everybody can afford a Monster Maroon, which of course is that really great uniform from Star Trek 2 through 6, and now there's a variation in Strange New Worlds. And if you get the real one made with gabardine wool and it's sized to you're talking thousands of dollars, like a 501st TK outfit. Because the pattern is not easy. I own the pattern and it's not easy. So we don't mind. I'm really lax. So if you have something that looks good and is comfortable, Most conventions, as we all know, are in the dead of summer because they want us to melt.
We ought to do is we ought to do this in August. I mean, really, August is a really great time of year for this.
Yeah, end of July, start of August. That's the perfect time for a convention. Actually, we're doing a couple of fall conventions, which I'm kind of excited about.
Cooler, for sure.
So there's a couple of I actually use a Chinese website, to be honest. But they make pretty good stuff. They're taking the time to make it as close as they can without getting in trouble. So that's, and actually it was, I think it was in the newsletter just before you joined, as I talked about it with the con season coming up, and they're affordable. So most of them are in the $50 to $60 range for the top.
Wow. That's good.
And then it's like $13, $14 for shipping. The problem is it takes like a month of Sundays,
Yep.
Because it's coming from China, usually on a boat. But I like the quality of the one maker that I kind of support, I guess. And they've made pretty good stuff, and they've been good to me. I have, I don't know, 20 some odd costumes from them.
Holy cow.
Wow. Yeah, I do have a small costume issue. And it's just because you
Hi,
always...
my name is Bran. I have a costume problem.
Costume
Hi, Bran.
Hi. No, it is. And the problem is with like new Trek, there's a new costume every season. Please, Paramount, stop that practice, please. For my bank account, my closet, my sanity.
That's marriage.
All that, please, marriage. Nah, she's all on board with it. That's a problem.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, that helps. But yeah, so I do know there's some chapters that are a little more strict about it. But most of the time, like if you got a top that looks good and you're in black pants and black shoes, I'm okay with that. You're standing on concrete at a convention for way too long. As an exhibitor, you're there for 12 hours probably because you're there before it starts and you're there after it stops. And you don't want to be in, fancy boots for 12 hours. We also make sure the Tiburon does one thing you guys didn't see is behind all that stuff, kind of in the middle. We build a big cage and we have a break room in the middle. So you can go sit down, take off your shoes for a few minutes, assuming, you're not going to stink up the place. But
assuming you can get them off.
That's another. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's and then it's a place to take a break for a few minutes, so you don't have to stand outside all the time. So we try to take care of the members as well as taking care of the public that comes by. And we're doing a whole bunch of new things. Like one of the things we've been talking about is with making some costumes that people who get on our photo op props that they can put on to be in costume.
Oh wow! Kind of like what do they call that? The when you go to the, it's like you go to the Old West stuff and you put the Old West stuff.
Kind of the same thing. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that.
Something to throw on to real quick to look like you're on it. A club I used to be in a long time ago that's no longer around did that. And it's always something I wanted to get back to because people are always interested. And as you saw on our display, we hang costumes just to show them off. Most of those on the display are mine, to be honest. Because, small problem. But people always ask to buy them. And I'm like, not for sale. I mean, if you want to offer me something with 3 or 4 zeros, maybe, but you'd be crazy, to be honest. But so, yeah, that's what the costume kind of stance is. And then chapters like adopt a costume. Like our official costume is what we call the black and gray. So if you watch First Contact, the later seasons of Deep Space Nine, because that's kind of the time frame that Tiburon is set in. That's our official uniform. But honestly, I don't care what you wear. I have everything from TOS all the way through. I don't have anything from season 3 of Picard yet. That might be coming in time for the next convention, but yet. But so we're open to anything really. And we've made some costumes. People do make some of their own costumes with varying success sometimes because the patterns aren't easy. Those things are not quite as easy as we call them space pajamas, but they're really not. As a matter of fact, there are space pajamas that people have worn at our costumes before.
Oh my gosh.
They look decent enough. Yeah, they look fine.
It works. Hey, it's all about the fandom.
Not?
Yeah,
it's all about the fandom and us being comfortable and you guys as people visiting having fun. So that's what it's all about. So that's the bigger thing.
Well-
I mean, I know the 501st, you have to like do
Yeah.
bunches of photos and stuff. And I have many 501st friends, and we have members of the 501st, and I love the 501st. I don't want to spend that much money on a costume that, you know, I'm going to sweat to death in. And they're cool. Like,
or
they
you
get all the
can't
cool
sit
stuff.
down in.
Yeah, I mean, like it's be like a really cool Cylon costume would be kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm familiar
yeah,
with
you
that.
can't move, you can't sit,
Yeah.
but everybody loves you. So
You can't
that's
sit,
cool.
can't move, can't walk, can't see where the hell you're going. I have to have a,
Can't-
I have to have a,
Can't go to the
yeah,
bathroom.
I have to have a slave human to guide me around wherever I go.
Is that how that
Bran,
works?
we
Okay, so
have
if you wins.
we have amongst us Eric Engler, who's a good friend of ours and supporter. He was a member of the USS Polaris back in like '89.
Oh wow, yeah,
What?
that was.
Wow.
That's cool.
They have all different
So-
names. Yeah, all the chapters have different names. They come and go. Like there's 230 plus now currently, I think. So it's a name. The only rules we have is you can't use like Enterprise,
Makes sense.
Voyager,
Yeah.
Defiant. You can't use the ones you see like on the show. It causes some weird problems. You know, people don't.
Fair
understand.
enough. Fair enough. Well, Bran,
that's
thank you so much for taking the time out. I think you have your dinner is in the oven waiting for you. And thanks very
Something like
much. We look forward to
Oh, of course.
the next update. And
Absolutely.
we will be in touch. And it's that time.
Yep.
Okay, look, let me squeeze in. Mediocre Modeler has one question. Let's squeeze that in.
That's a
He
good
says,
question.
what is your favorite phaser?
Oh, my favorite phaser. Oh gosh. A phaser rifle. So I have, you guys might have seen it. I think it was on display when you guys were there, but I have a resin first contact phaser rifle that weighs about 50 pounds because it's solid resin. That would probably be my first favorite. But if you're talking like a pistol phaser, I would go with, ooh, that's a tough one. Not Discovery. It'd probably be Star Trek VI. The combat phaser is what it's called. It's a black phaser. It's pretty cool. It's not in the show very much, but it's the Star Trek VI combat phaser.
Very
That's
nice.
pretty cool.
I can't remember which one it is, but I like the one that the front end flips.
You're a Cylon. Do we have to listen to you? Do we have to listen? How does that even work?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. How would that
Actually, I
work?
have it over
And-
here.
And if it gets stuck sideways, can you shoot both ways at the same time?
Yes.
You know, that's what I want to know.
I have it on the shelf over here, as a matter of fact.
Phaser Type 2.
That's the Discovery
plastic,
phase.
right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Boom.
well, yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. Now, Playmates just released their new one. I had it on one of the shows. It's in the other room. That new Playmates toy is really nice. It's got some good sound to it and good sound sound effects, I guess. It sounds
Cool.
really good. Actually, wait a minute. Isn't it
Very
right?
nice.
Oh, it is right here.
And,
It's still right here. And that's what it is. See?
Cool.
There, I got my
Oh.
phaser. See? So there you go.
Ooh, very
like right
cool.
there.
I'm jealous.
And it's got 3 settings. You got the normal. I don't know.
Is that
if
the
you guys
one where
can get that
the top comes off for the handheld?
No, the Playmates are solid. The top doesn't come off. Art Asylum.
Yeah, that's the one
made
I
it
have.
back
Art
in the
Asylum.
day. Yeah, I got one of those
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But this sounds better and feels better, to be honest. It's a little better, and it has overload, so
Yeah.
you know it can blow up.
Oh,
You know.
you better turn that off, or we're gonna have a problem here. But we may
I
end
can't
up
turn it
ending
off.
the show a little sooner
did have that
than we
problem.
expect. Let's see, real quick, Dave Francoeur was crewman on the USS Stephen Hawkins in California back in the day. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Bran, for taking the time out, like I said before.
Yep.
And you'll come back. We'll do another
yeah.
catch up
Absolutely.
when you're back in orbit. And here's to you.
Next revolution, yeah, we can do that.
Fans
Yep.
for the fleet.
That's
Thank
it.
you, guys. Well, thank you
Brad,
guys
thank
for
you very
the
much.
wonderful podcast and all the stuff you guys do for your fan film and the fans, because you guys are great. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Bran. Thanks for coming.
Of course.
All right, so we got our Star Trek updates, which is cool, and I don't know. It's that time, guys. I guess for me, Look, we had a fantastic time talking with Gerald Kilby.
One heck of a show, yeah.
From Ireland. I mean, he came on, and it's really late, and he was
I
telling
can't
us
wait to
about.
listen to his book.
Yeah, I mean, it's a series that sometimes it's. I mean, we got our fingers on the pulse of a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's kind of hard to know everything, right? So at least we're getting the authors, they're coming on, and we get to talk to them, and they tell us a little bit about what they're doing, how they write, and we're going to follow up after you read it. And I'm still way behind on my list of readings, but
listen, man,
thank you.
That's all I can. That's all the time I have to do. I download the book, put it on Audible, and I am driving.
Boom, done. So thank you, Jerry, for coming on, Gerald Kilby, and Diana Durango, who came on as well, which is great. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And then John One, who is, he is, he's the oil that's,
he
that's
keeps
keeping
us
everything
with
going.
people coming in. So
yeah. So he's keeping the wheels going, and it's awesome. Thank you, John, for taking care of business, and of course, Bran from Starfleet, the International Starfleet Association. Thank you for coming in. So it's kind of cool, and we it's one. It takes a village. Mike DeBrun said that a while ago. Reminded us how it's kind of like a team effort, and I want to thank everybody for helping us out and being here for us. So
and stand by. We'll reveal more cards maybe next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun.
Yes. Thank you much. Once again, if you haven't checked this out, please look at YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Twitch. And it just sounds like you got a problem if you're twitching and twittering and Facebooking and YouTubing. But yeah, we're at all those places. Go through those places. Make sure you hit like on each one of them so we can keep you up to date no matter what happens. And as always, as we say, unfortunately, it's that time to go again. But we really appreciate you. We really appreciate your fandom. We appreciate that you are as enthralled with the worlds as we are, because fans feel the fleet.
Yes,
So
you
here's to
guys.
you.